I'm Amelia.
And I'm Mark.
And today we're looking at brake barrels. How loud are brake barrels? How quiet can you get them? It's a topic that comes up very often on the phone here at the Wolfman. A lot of people are very concerned about neighbours, maybe need to do some pest control on their own personal property, live in a town or not in a rural area. And so noise is a real concern for some people, isn't it?
That's right, and it's important to understand where the noise comes from with an air rifle. So there are two sources of noise that can come from an air rifle. Number one is from the action as you're pulling the trigger. Number two is as the pellet leaves the barrel. Now we can do something to control the noise of the pellet leaving the barrel by affixing a moderator to a brake barrel rifle. There's not really a great deal that we can do about the noise from the action.
And that is why brake barrels maybe have a bit of a reputation as being a little bit loud. A lot of people are under the impression that PCPs are really what you can get whisper quiet, particularly if you have a moderator on, whereas brake barrels, by the nature of what they are always going to be a little bit noisy. That being said, with modern technology and designs, we wanted to have a test to find out exactly what the figures are.
We've picked 3 guns out to see how noisy they are, how quiet they are, whether they're suitable for your use. And we've got a sound meter here, which if I switch this on and I start talking, then we tend to be getting around 60, 65 decibels coming on the sound meter. The 3 rifles that we have here are the Kral Devil, the Crosman Fire, and the BSA Lightning CLX. So we're going to take these out into the field and test them for just how quiet they are.
We thought we'd pick these 3 rifles because the Kral Devil is a pretty standard Springer. It retails for £149, so on the entry-level side of things. The Crosman Fire features nitro piston technology, so different mechanics to the spring in the Kral Devil. It also has this shrouded barrel, as you can see, but at £179, a lot of people argue the shroud is a little bit more for aesthetics than for any significant difference, so be interesting to see what results we get out of that one. And then with the Lightning CLX, this is £439.95 currently, I do believe. And the moderator on the end is also detachable. So with the Lightning, we'll have a go with it with the moderator on and with the moderator off, so we can see what difference that makes as well.
Yeah, and the way that we measure noise is with this sound meter, and we're going to get measures in decibels. Now, the decibel level is what we call logarithmic. So it's not just a linear line where, for example, an ordinary conversation may be at about 60 decibels. It's not as though you have to go up to 120 for the decibel level to double. In actual fact, it's only 3 decibels in either direction for a doubling or halving of the noise. So just by way of comparison, an ordinary conversation is usually around 60 odd decibels. If you're doing the hoovering, you're probably going to get something around 70 decibels, and if you're outside cutting the lawn, then you could be hitting about 80 decibels. So that's starting to get fairly loud. So that's just a good way of comparison with everyday activities and noises, so we can compare the air rifles against.
I'm really interested to see how these perform. Prediction-wise, I think we're both in agreement that we're expecting the Kral Devil to be the loudest. I'm gonna put the Fire probably second, and I'm expecting the Lightning CLX with the silencer to probably be the quietest. We're going to be performing this test with the decibel meter at 2 meters away from the rifle. So you might see some other statistics online that measure it either directly next to the rifle or a meter away from the rifle. Let's see what readings we get.
By way of comparison, we did take our pre-charged out there and measure them through the sound meter as well, and we were typically getting about 72 to 73 decibels. So still a fair difference between the quietest Springer with a moderator on and pre-charge. So if noise is really an issue, if you're hunting, if you really want to keep the noise down, pre-charged is definitely the best way to go. But if you're looking to maybe just not make too much noise, you don't want to annoy the neighbours too much, but you really want a Springer, then we find that there are rifles there which are quite usable.
If you have a particularly quiet Springer or gas ram setup, let us know about it in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. And if there are any other video ideas you want us to cover in the future, let us know by dropping us a comment below.